Hello and welcome to the Feelz Right Quiz Night.
Hello, what a delight.
I am the Quizzard and this is Sidekick Mr. Jeffords, and we are so thrilled to welcome you to our Season's Pride episode. Some of you might be thinking, wait a minute, wasn't Pride in June? Well, in New York, Pride is in June, but for us, Pride is 24 months a year.
Or at least once a season of Feelz Right.
That's true, at least once a season of Feelz Right, and all of June. Not 24 months a year?
There's only 12 months of a year.
No, I know, that's just...
I didn't catch it till
All right, I guess it's not really a joke, but hey, why not? This year does seem particularly long. Actually, I don't know if it necessarily does. I'm actually having a remarkably good time. Yeah, the days do. And then at night, we're asleep. All right, anyway, hello and welcome to all the contestants. So excited that you are back here again for week 4 of Feelz Right Quiz Night. And hello to everyone out there on YouTube. You are our stream queens, and we love you for watching along. Actually, I think we finally hit 21 subscribers on YouTube, which is a miracle because we were thinking more in the vicinity of 2 or 3. So we've got about 21 subscribers. So listen, if you want to be one of the first 30, get over to YouTube and subscribe to the Feelz Right Quiz Night channel.
Rights.
But anyway, stream queens, we love you. Thank you for being here. Okay, so get ready for some hashtag fun on a mun. This is going to be good. And, rename yourselves. If you have yet to rename yourself in the Zoom for contestants, please rename yourself with your team name. And without any further ado, I'm going to pass you over to the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords, for a little pointage.
All right, I know you all want to know how you did last week, so here's your little weekly score recap. And boy, it's a doozy, folks, because...
A doozy in a good way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
It always feels right.
Well, doozies,
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be wild.
And I got a lot to tell you about. Because last week, in 3rd place, we had Hammocks, Golden Squirrel Friends, Happy Accidents, Nom Chomp, The Old Ball and 2 Chains, Strasser Things, and Vino Verite, all with 1 point on the board. Good job, guys.
Yes.
And then 2nd place teams last week, we had Mashley and the Mavis Baker Band, 2 points on the board, okay? And then squeaking into that 1st place finish last week, we had Cinnamon Buns, Hard Quartet, My Team Will Go On, Celine Dion, Our Best Friends, Return of the Squids, Sleepy in the Suburbs, and Steamboat Willies.
Okay.
Woo! Very exciting week.
That is a doozy.
Do you all remember last week? That was very exciting.
That was a doozy.
There's something that I always say, and I'm going to prove it to you because I really do mean it when I tell you that it is still anyone's game. And I'm very serious about this. So serious that I'm going to give out first a couple of bonus points.
Okay.
So, first, a couple of teams that last week were really lickety-split on getting their answers in super quick, which I randomly decided to appreciate for last week. And so those teams getting 1 extra bonus point for last week are Dos o Menos, House of Pernt, and Steamboat Willies. Congratulations. And then also one other very special bonus point to one very special team who was the first to comment on today's Instagram post. Also last week they were rocking a whole virtual background with an Instagram post of ours. And this week they're coming to you with the Progress Pride flag. I mean, they are feeling it right. So 1 bonus point to Mask Jeeves. That's right. And if some of you teams have not started following us on Instagram yet, at Feelz Right Quiz Night, get over there because one of the things that we do post every week is a clue collage that has a lot of indirectly direct hints about different questions, different answers, round themes.
To inspire the subconscious.
Yeah, to get your noggin jogging, to get you really on the right track for this week's quiz. So I would encourage you to follow that. Very helpful.
Religiously.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, where does that leave us overall in this competition? Well...
Yeah, get to the meat.
I know. The leaderboard. That's what you all want to know. The 3rd place teams overall so far, Mavis Baker Band, Hard Quartet, and Steamboat Willies. 2nd place so far, Our Best Friends. And 1st place, overall, once again, icing on the cake. It's cinnamon buns.
Okay.
Still holding it down first place.
Okay.
The rest of you, hang in there. You're right there. Some of you are hot on their heels. Teams like My Team Will Go On, Celine Dion, Nom Chomp, and Sleepy in the Suburbs, you are just hot on their heels, so don't worry. The rest of you...
Well, no, worry, but put that worry to
Yeah, put that worry towards your brain power, okay? And then the rest of you, you are what I'm calling hot for the hotties. Okay? You're not hot on their heels, but you're hot for those hotties.
Mm-hmm.
And to give you a little bit of a chance, I told you I'm feeling point crazy tonight, and to prove that it is
still anyone's game.
This is the week that we are doing the Surge.
Okay.
That's right. So what does that mean? That means that any other team not in the top 3 and not hot on their heels, you are eligible for the Surge, which if you get a perfect score on one of the rounds tonight, any round, 5 out of 5, you get 5 points towards your season score, and that will really help some of you to get right in there in prime striking position.
This is huge.
And for those of you who are hot on their heels, who are feeling maybe a little left out by that opportunity, don't worry, because I'm also instating something I'm calling the Swerve. It's not the Surge, it's the Surge with a curve, which is the Swerve. I think I got that right. Did I say that right? It's the Swerve.
Yeah.
So those teams who are hot on the heels of the leaderboard, My Team Will Go On, Celine Dion, Nom Chomp, Sleepy in the Suburbs. If you get a perfect round, that's 3 points towards your season score, because that's the Swerve, aka the Surge on a curve. So I gotta tell you, it is still
Anyone's game. And I see chats coming in, which means there's probably some questions to clarify that, but you can basically get the Swerve or the... Wait, what is it again? The Swerve
the
or
Surge,
the Surge.
or the Swerve. So anyone whose name I didn't see, it's purposefully tricky on the tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So everyone else, get that Surge and you'll be right there.
Okay, great. So before we jump right into round 1, we are going to start announcing the prizes today. So that's really exciting. And don't forget, before we launch into round 1, before that, Jeff. Okay, now we can really, our host idol. Okay, so before we start into round 1, which we're going to do in a second, please remember that you all agreed to abide by the honor system. The honor system, no cheating, no Google, none of that. Just go with what you know. All right, so without any further ado, contestants, are you ready? Stream queens, are you ready? Woo! Here we go. It feels right to launch into
round 1, which is, as always, current events.
Okay, round 1, question 1. Massive street protests in Minsk have been taking place almost daily since President Alexander Lukashenko won his 6th consecutive term in a corrupted election earlier this month. The authoritarian Lukashenko, known as, quote, Europe's last dictator, is facing eroding support in a country not known for staging mass anti-government protests. He has declared that there will not be new elections, quote, until you kill me, end quote. Of what country is he president? Massive street protests in Minsk, taking place almost daily since President Alexander Lukashenko won his 6th consecutive term in a corrupted election earlier this month. The authoritarian Lukashenko, known as Europe's last dictator, is facing eroding support in a country not known for staging mass anti-government protests. He has declared that there will not be new elections, quote, until you kill me. What country is he the president of? Of what country is he the president? Okay. Question 2. Glennon Doyle's best-selling inspirational memoir called Untamed, Stop Pleasing, Start Living, has been a favorite of celebs like Kristen Bell, Chelsea Handler, and Reese Witherspoon, who have all sung this book's praises. This week, this singer has come out saying the book is, quote, pro-bloody found, end quote, and also saying, quote, who knew that our own liberation liberates those around us? 'Cause I didn't. Who is the singer who is Glennon Doyle's new fan? Glennon Doyle, best-selling inspirational memoir called Untamed, Stop Pleasing, Start Living, a favorite of celebs like Kristen Bell, Chelsea Handler, Reese Witherspoon, all sung the book's praises. This week, this singer has come out saying the book is, quote, pro-bloody found, and also saying, quote, who knew that our own liberation liberates those around us? 'Cause I didn't. Who is the singer who is Glennon Doyle's new fan? Okay. Question 3. Jason Wright is a former running back who played for the 49ers, Falcons, Browns, and Cardinals. After he retired in 2011, he went to business school and is now the first black team president in NFL history, overseeing what is temporarily being called the Washington football team. 4 of the following names are on the table as potential replacements for the Washington team moniker. Which of these is currently not an option? A. Washington Red Wolves. B. Washington Warriors. C. Washington Pigskins. Go Skins! D. Washington Monuments. Or E. Washington Red Tails. 4 of the following names are on the table as potential replacements for the Washington team moniker, now under the oversight of the first black team president in NFL history, Jason Wright. Which of these is currently not an option for the Washington football team's new name? A. Washington Red Wolves. B. Washington Warriors. C. Washington Pigskins.
Go Skins!
D. Washington Monuments. Or E. Washington Red Tails. Okay. Question 4. This company is the first American company to reach a market valuation of $2 trillion. They have doubled their value in just 2 years, joining the Saudi state-owned oil giant as the only companies to ever hit the milestone. Investors were worried that the coronavirus was going to majorly disrupt the company's supply chain, but the stock has been going bonkers, up more than 50% since the pandemic began. What is the company? This company, first American company to reach a market valuation of $2 trillion, doubled their value in just 2 years, joining the Saudi state-owned oil giant as the only companies to ever hit the milestone. Investors were worried that the coronavirus was going to throw a wrench in the supply chain, but the stock has been going bonkers, up more than 50% since the pandemic began. What is the company? Okay. Question 5, multiple choice, and in honor of this week's Pride festivities, Marsha P. Johnson is known as a queer icon, an outspoken gay rights activist, and a drag queen who was a key figure in New York City's Stonewall riots in 1969. You might recognize her from this picture. Just want to make sure I'm showing the right thing. Marsha P. Johnson, that is her. Today, would be Marsha P. Johnson's 75th birthday? What does the P in her name stand for? This is multiple choice, don't worry, you don't have to guess. Is it A, pay it no mind, B, Petunia, C, Pollyanna, D, progress, or E, party time? Marsha P. Johnson, queer icon, showed you the picture, key figure in New York City's Stonewall riots in 1969. Today would be her 75th birthday. What does the P in her name stand for? A, pay it no mind, B, Petunia, C, Pollyanna, D, progress, or E, party time? Okay, the lines are open. Get your answers into the sidekick, Mr. Jeffords. If anybody needs a question repeated, throw it up in the chat bar. Cinnamon Buns, Go Skins. Number 2 for Division 1, Screen 1. Number 2, coming right at ya. Glennon Doyle, best-selling inspirational memoir called Untamed. Stop Pleasing, Start Living has been a favorite of Kristen Bell, Chelsea Handler, Reese Witherspoon, and this singer, new fan, called it, quote, pro-bloody found, and also said, quote, who knew that our own liberation liberates those around us? 'Cause I didn't, end quote. Who is the singer who is Glennon Doyle's new fan? Okay, Lady and the Champs wants number 4 and number 3 for our best friends. Okay, number 3, Jason Wright, first black team president in NFL history, overseeing what is temporarily being called the Washington football team. 4 of the following names are on the table as potential replacements for the Washington team moniker. Which of these is currently not an option for the rename? A, Washington Red Wolves. B, Washington Warriors. C, Washington Pigskins.
Go Skins!
D, Washington Monuments, or E, the Washington Red Tails. Okay, Lady and the Champs, question 4 coming for you. This, and whoever else needs it, this company is the first American company to reach a market valuation of $2 trillion US, doubled their value in just 2 years, joining the Saudi state-owned oil giant as the only companies to ever hit the milestone. Investors were worried that the coronavirus was going to majorly disrupt the company's supply chain, but the stock has been going nuts, up more than 50% since the pandemic began. What's the company? Okay, mull that over. I'm going to mull over this massive glass of gin that I definitely started tipping into when the sidekicks started getting into those
Right, I had a lot to
points.
say.
No, hey, listen, it's a good thing. People need to know where they stand in the competition.
And the swerve and surge of it all.
And the swerve and the surge. As a recap, if you get a perfect round tonight and you are hot on the heels of the hotties, then you get 5 points on the season scoreboard. If you are one of the people who are hot on the heels of the top 3, then you are eligible for a potential swerve. If you get a perfect round, you will get 3 points on the season scoreboard, which really means that it is still anyone's game. I just got really excited to tell you about one of the prizes, by the way, but that's coming up later. Okay, so now if you need a little bit more time, would you do me a favor and flash a thumbs up using the reaction button on the thingamabob? Okay, looks like people are with me. Oh, thank you, Dr. Zismore. Glad you made it. Only packed 3 pairs of undies. Glad you're here. Hammocks, Michigan, looking focused. Shaved mango, yes. Hanging out with your compadre, your team compadre yesterday, Shaved Mango. I know that she is keen on winning a prize, and because it's still anyone's game, that could potentially happen. Okay, so nobody needs any more responses, so I'm gonna go ahead and ding the bell in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the lines are closed. If I'm not sure if anybody's abiding by this flashcard thing, but if you are, I'm flashing you now so you can unmute and come back to the Zoom. And let's just, first, before we get into the answers, I just want to say, holy shnikes, am I ever impressed? We, as a collective, everybody, and this is also just apropos our Pride episode, we as a collective so far have raised $1,425 for the Ali Forney Center. We set our goal as $800, and I'm just blown away that we have so far exceeded our goal, and that is such a credit to all of you and a credit to all of us coming together to raise money for this cause that does amazing work on behalf of the homeless LGBTQIA2S+ youth here in New York City. So a big, genuine thank you from our living room to yours. And if you're a stream queen out there wondering what we're talking about, the Ali Forney Center, like I just said, is a homeless center and shelter here in New York City, and all the contestants have been donating. But stream queens, don't feel left out. You can donate too. Just head on over to Ali Forney and make a donation. If you want to make it through our page, I'm sure you can find that somewhere on there. Okay, so now let's jump into the answers. I'm going to take a big sip of gin because, as you remember, the first 2 weeks were extremely warm here in New York. Last week, took the foot off the gas a little bit. This week,
back.
The heat is back. It is back. All right, let's launch into these responses. Okay, so round one, current events. Woo! Question one, massive street protests in Minsk. Europe's last dictator, the authoritarian Alexander Lukashenko, says he's gonna, there won't be new elections until you kill me, quote. He is the president of Belarus. 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 I did try to look up a little bit what the treatment of queer people is in Belarus. Doesn't seem great, although it's not illegal to be queer. So that's positive, and that's since the mid-90s. But he did have some choice things to say about queer people. Okay, so question two, Glennon Doyle, best-selling inspirational memoir. This book is flying off the bookshelves. I don't know, or it's flying off digital bookshelves onto Kindles everywhere. Anywho, this week the singer who has come out saying the book is pro-bloody found is Adele. Adele. If it's good enough for Adele, it is pretty much good enough for all of us. So let's all read it, and we can talk about it next week here at Feelz Right Quiz Night. Okay, question three, Jason Wright, first black team president in NFL history, overseeing the Washington football team. The team will have a new name. Apparently they're trying to settle on one before the season starts in September. But of these names,
Go Skins!
the one that is on the list,
We tricked so many of you. I'm sorry.
One that is not an option is the Washington Monuments. The Washington Monuments, not an option for this team as of now. Also, if you're interested, this team is steeped. I was gonna say dipped and steeped in scandal. There is so much shit going on with this team right now, like at all levels. I was just, doing some research to put this together, whatever. There is a lot going on over there behind the scenes, a lot of drama. Okay, question four, company, first American company to reach a market valuation of $2 trillion US. Apple. Got various Apple products in usage right here, right now. Oh, Avid Birders is asking what is the correct email. Avid Birders, it's the email from which you received the emails earlier today. Avid Birders. Yeah, the sidekick got your email. Okay. Round one, question five. Queer icon Marsha P. Johnson would be her 75th birthday today. P stands for A. Pay it no mind. Marsha Pay It No Mind Johnson. House of Parnt doing a double fist bump. All right, okay, so that is it for round one. Okay. I think it feels right to launch right into
round 2, which this week is Fabulous Fairies.
Ooh. Yes, in honor of our Pride episode, we are going to be diving into Fabulous Fairies. Okay, question 1. The concept of a fairy derives from a range of folkloric sources, but generally refers to an enchanted creature with magical powers. The term is also on a long list of derogatory slurs against the LGBTQIA2S+ community. In the context of that list, a fairy is typically meant to refer to a feminine acting man, but there is some wiggle room with how the insult can be lobbed. Or reclaimed. Just last month, right-wing and overall numbnut President Bolsonaro from this country taunted staffers wearing masks to prevent against COVID-19 by claiming they were, quote, for fairies. What country does he lead? Fairies, mix of folkloric sources, generally refers to an enchanted creature with magical powers, also a slur. Just last month, right-wing and overall numbnut President Bolsonaro from this country taunted staffers wearing masks to protect against COVID-19 by claiming they were for fairies. What country does he lead? Really into my right-wing politicians tonight. Happy Pride. Okay, question 2. Fairies appear as significant characters in A Midsummer Night's Dream, written by none other than the bard himself, William Shakespeare, in 1595-1596. The play consists of 4 interconnecting plots set simultaneously in the woodland and in the realm of fairyland. Central to the story is the character Robin Goodfellow, who utters the last speech in the play. By what name is this character more commonly known? Fairies appear as significant characters in A Midsummer Night's Dream, written by none other than the bard himself, William Shakespeare, in 1595-1596. 4 interconnecting plots set simultaneously in the woodland and in the realm of fairyland. Central to the story is the character Robin Goodfellow, who utters the last speech in the play. By what name is this character more commonly known? Okay. Question 3. We all know Tinkerbell as one of Disney's iconic mascots, but the character originally derives from the 1904 stage play Peter Pan and the novel it inspired in 1911 called Peter and Wendy, both by J.M. Barrie. In her original rendering, Tinkerbell's voice is the sound of a tinkering bell, only understandable by those familiar with the language of the fairies. She has been depicted in various ways across various media over the years, including being portrayed by this actress in the 1991 film Hook, directed by Steven Spielberg. Who played Tinkerbell? We all know Tinkerbell, one of Disney's iconic mascots, but originally she comes from the 1904 play Peter Pan and the novel it inspired in 1911, both by J.M. Barrie. Her voice is the sound of a tinkering bell. She has been depicted in various ways across various media over the years, including being portrayed by this actress in the 1991 film Hook, directed by Steven Spielberg. Who played Tinkerbell? Okay, question 4. Okay, this past Saturday, saw the celebration of the little-known and seemingly unnecessary National Tooth Fairy Day here in the United States. The tradition of children earning money for their lost teeth might be traceable back to the Vikings, who are said to have paid children for their teeth in the 8th to 11th centuries. Regardless of where it started, it is a tradition that seems to have endured. In fact, in 2011 and 2012, the Royal Canadian Mint issued the Tooth Fairy quarters, which by today's standards would be a paltry sum for a lost tooth. According to research conducted by Kelton Global, whoever they are, in 2019, and based on a representative sample of 1,058 cases in the US, what is the average amount a child receives per tooth from the Tooth Fairy? Your answer can be in Canadian or US funds, but you must specify your currency. We will accept answers within 50 cents above or 50 cents below the answer. According to research conducted by Kelton Global in 2019 and based on a representative sample of 1,058 cases in the US, what is the average amount a child receives per tooth? Canadian or US funds, specify your currency please. Accept answers within 50 cents above or 50 cents below the answer. This tradition arguably dates back to the Vikings, who are said to have paid children for their teeth in the 8th through 11th centuries. Canada got really on the bandwagon in 2011 with the production of that quarter. Actually, maybe that quarter is worth more than 25 cents, like as a collector's item, in which case it might be the perfect thing to give, but not really related. Okay, question 5. Final question of the round, and obviously could not resist a homonym this week and in this category. Okay, so British rocker Brian Ferry, that Rolling Stone once called, quote, the dandy of the bazaar, end quote, had a string of solo hits, but is best known for being the lead singer of this glam rock outfit. Popular in the 70s and early 80s, the band is known for their hits that include Love is the Drug and More Than This, which was later covered by 10,000 Maniacs. What band did Ferry front? You know I can't resist a homonym in the Pride episode. British rocker Brian Ferry, Rolling Stone once called the dandy of the bazaar, had a string of solo hits, but is best known for being the lead singer of this glam rock outfit. Popular in the 70s and 80s, the band is known for their hits that include Love is the Drug and More Than This. Later covered by 10,000 Maniacs. What band did Ferry front? Okay, the lines are open. The sidekick is receiving the messages. Repeat 4 one more time, please, for Cinnamon Buns. Damn it, Janet's asking for number 1. Okay, and number 5. Number 5? Just finished doing number 5. All right, gonna do it again. Okay, 1, 4, and 5. We got people fighting for the swerves and fighting for the surge and fighting for the swerves. Okay, so question 1. Concept of a fairy derives from folkloric sources, generally enchanted creature, also used as a derogatory slur, typically against feminine men. But there's some wiggle room there with how the insult can be lodged. Also reclaimed by the radical fairies, but that's another topic. Here's the question. Just last month, right-wing and overall numbnut President Bolsonaro from this country taunted staffers wearing masks to protect against COVID-19 by claiming they were for fairies. What country does he lead? Number 4. Celebration of the little-known and seemingly unnecessary National Tooth Fairy Day. Some interesting factoids about the history of money for teeth, but according to research conducted by Kelton Global, whoever the hell they are you hiring? Kelton Global in 2019, and based on a representative sample of 1,058 cases in the US, what is the average amount a child receives per tooth? Canadian or US funds will accept within 50 cents above or below. Question 5. Okay. This is for you, Shaved Mango. This was the homonym. Brian Ferry, dandy of the bazaar, a lot of solo hits, but best known for being the lead singer of this glam rock outfit, popular in the 70s and early 80s, known for their hits that include Love is the Drug, and More Than This. What band did Ferry front? Okay. If you need more time, go ahead and flash a thumbs up. Stream Queens, how are you holding up out there? Okay, Shariva Baby needs a little more time. El Rayo del Norte still working on some answers. Stream Queens, how are you keeping up? You think you're doing okay out there? Kens and Karens need a little bit more time. We got you. Okay, so there's just a few teams who are needing a little bit more time. So you guys have 30 seconds to get your answers in. Baby Sharks looking very confident. Just swooping that hair away, no problem. Our best friends looking very comfortable. Golden Squirrel Friends looks like Golden Squirrel Friends has gotten up and might just be doing a little light cleaning around the home. Nope, just refreshing his drink, of course. Should have known better. Nom Chomp, Semi-Supine. Avid Birders, back this week. We missed you last week. Welcome back, Avid Birders. Hope you're doing okay. Marzipandemonium Part 2. All Smiles, which I think might mean potentially a perfect round. Rosie and the Triviters, In the Shadows tonight. Okay, oh, Lady and the Champs, I see you too. Mashley, looking focused and very well lit. Okay, so before we get to the answers for round 2, or actually, I think, yeah, we're going to officially close the window of opportunity. And before we get to the answers for round 2, I'm going to just talk to you about today's sponsor. We have a sponsor in addition to the prize. Today's sponsor is an album that has been absolutely buoying me through the last couple months, through the last couple months of the pandemic lockdown, and that is What's Your Pleasure by Jessie Ware. What's Your Pleasure by Jessie Ware. Cannot recommend this album enough. It is disco-y, electro-y, sexy, sultry, fun, boppy. Did I already say sexy? It's a great album, and I highly, highly recommend it. Just What's Your Pleasure by Jessie Ware. Thrilled by this album and absolutely honored that she and her team would be behind Feelz Right Quiz Night episode tonight. Okay, now before we get to the answers and before I tell you about one of the prizes, I am going to just take a quick little visit over to...
Where are we going?
We're going to visit Strasser Things. Strasser Things, I'm unmuting you. Strasser Things, are you there?
No.
Oh, yes, you're there. Okay, now...
No, we're not.
Wait, you're not?
No.
Wait.
Unpin your video.
Okay, I'm gonna unpin my video. Hi! How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay, everyone, this is... I'm doing really well, thanks. It is warm, but I'm doing pretty well. Hi, everyone, this is Strasser Things. Would you two like to introduce yourselves to...
This is Sarah. I'm Marco.
Okay, hi, Sarah. Hi, Marco. Thank you so much for being part of Feelz Right Quiz Night Season 2. So thrilled that you are here. Where are you two?
We're in our living room in Chicago.
Chicago, Illinois. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
First things first, I am very curious and drawn to this painting behind you.
Yeah, it says do work.
It says do work?
Yeah.
What do you mean it says do work? Does it say that on the painting somewhere?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where?
I think I'm covering it.
Oh, I see. It's sort of like a tool. It's like a tool desk situation with like saws and stuff like that. Now, what's the story behind that artwork? Where'd that come from?
Well, it's actually interesting, Stephen. I'm really glad you asked. Marco has a buddy in Virginia.
Wait a minute. I thought it was Sarah.
I'm sorry. Sarah has a buddy in Virginia. and he was living with him for a while, and the buddy got deployed to Iraq, and so while he was in Iraq, he had an artist stay at the house, and so the artist didn't pay with cash, she paid with art, and they had a falling out.
Who did? The artist and the soldier?
Yeah. And so one of the pieces of art that she left was this. And Sarah, thought it was really amazing, as did I, And so we said, well, if you don't want it, we'll take it.
So wait, what was the falling out over?
She wasn't supposed to pay with money. She was supposed to pay with renovations, and he didn't like her renovations. So.
Oh, really? Like she didn't
painted murals around the townhouse, and it wasn't his taste.
He just wanted beige.
So she was supposed to. So she was supposed to repaint the place, and she did all these murals instead of just painting it beige.
Yes.
That seems like it would have been something worth discussing before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be curious to see some receipts and to go back into the communication. Yeah, I mean,
it's been about 10 years now.
No, longer.
Yeah.
No,
so
well,
I don't know. We walked away.
I think it was a win for everybody.
With a bonus. So.
Really, but I'm sure that your friend. Now, listen. You used to live with this friend, Marco, aka Sarah.
So this was. Bringing him up. Yes, we were old military friends. He was deployed, and I took over his lease while he was deployed. Okay. And then I left, and then he came back.
Now, was this during or before your courtship with your now wife, Sarah, here?
Yeah, no, I was in New York. Marco was in Virginia, but yeah, we'd been together for years at that point.
Oh, okay. So now, can you tell everybody in the Feelz Right fam how long you two have been together for a decently, solidly long amount of time? How long have you two been together?
Okay. We've been married 8 years.
8 years.
Happy anniversary, by the way. Your anniversary is sometime around now.
It just happened earlier this month, and we've been together since 1998.
Wow. So 22 years.
October it'll be 22 years.
Yeah.
Up to wow.
We're just trying to figure it out. We're just trying to get to know each other.
Well, this is the know about. Have you found that in this process of being quarantined together, that there are things that you have learned about each other that were new?
No.
No, nothing.
No.
For you, neither for you, Marco?
Even we lived in a 250 square foot studio apartment in the Lower East Side for years. Yeah. We worked together at the same restaurant while we lived together in that same apartment. We know everything. We know everything. Yeah.
So, is there a habit that you have found to be newly frustrating over the process of the quarantine?
I'm a really steady guy.
I mean, other than the thing is that we now have multiple bathrooms, so no.
Oh, so was that the sticking point before?
It's the only place I have privacy.
Okay. It takes a really long time in the bathroom in the morning.
Okay.
I don't just wake up like this. It takes time and effort.
So fortunately, we have a couple other bathrooms that I can go to when I'm ready to get up.
Okay. So would you say that is sort of the main thing that you two at times have conflict over, is use of the bathroom?
No, but
not really.
Digging for the drama.
Now I'm going on the flip side of the Tooth Fairy corridor. Are there things about each other that you habits or traits of the other that you love that have been heightened in this period of quarantine? For the better.
I could not have remotely started to get through this without his rock steady personality. Like, I immediately thought the world's gonna collapse. We're all gonna be in just a riot in it's gonna be like the movies, right? And no, he's been rock solid. So yes, that's been my gratitude that he is just who he is.
I drink a lot of bourbon and take
and I drink.
take naps.
We drink.
Now, what about for you, Marco? Is there something about Sarah that you have always loved, but that you appreciate even more, sort of under the microscope of quarantine?
No,
not to get nothing. He's got nothing. No.
Not to get mushy. I've always appreciated my time with Sarah. We have a very good dynamic. She's my best friend, and she keeps me laughing throughout the day. So
it's been fun though. It has been fun because he's working from home, and what I do is just always from home. So instead of calling him in a panic, it's been fun that I get to just run upstairs to the office and be like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And we get to just have our little time together. It's, yeah. I don't want him to go back to the office. It's been fun.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for being a part of this and for being willing to be spotlighted tonight. And good luck. It's still anyone's game. So
yeah, probably not ours. Probably not ours. But
before we leave, I would like to spotlight this old photo.
Okay.
There's young Steven Sheffer.
There I am in my youth with an boyfriend.
Way to go, Marco.
This was a classmate.
I'm so sorry.
That was a classmate.
I didn't put him up to that. That was all him. I'm so sorry.
All right, it's okay. It's one of many. Okay.
Here's a better one. Here.
Oh, current boyfriend. All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. All right. Okay. So great to talk to them. Actually, it's been a while since I've connected with. Well, I haven't talked to Marco in forever, but it's been a minute since I talked to Sarah too. Okay. So now, before we get into the answers, or should we do the answers first and then do the prize?
Let's go for it.
Go for what? The answers? The prize?
Whatever you're feeling.
Let's go for the answers first. Okay, so here we go. Answers for round 2. Fabulous Fairies. Question 1. President Bolsonaro caught taunting his staffers who want to wear masks for their own health by saying they're for fairies. Country that he leads is Brazil, currently ravaged by the coronavirus. Question 2. Fairies appear as significant characters in A Midsummer Night's Dream. Robin Goodfellow, central to the story, utters the last speech in the play. This character is more commonly known as Puck. Puck, as in a hockey puck, but not. Puck. Puck. Okay. Question 3. Tinkerbell, iconic. 1991 film Hook, directed by Steven Spielberg, played by Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. Okay. Here we go. I see some comments in the in the bar there about mine and John's current relationship status or what have you. Okay. Question 4. Oh yes, Kelton Global. We all know them. 2019 research firm. Average amount a child receives per tooth from the tooth fairy, $3.70 US, $4.88 Canadian. So we will have accepted from 50 cents below or above those two numbers, $3.70 US, $4.88 Canadian. Pretty sure I just got, I probably got a loonie or something. Canadian dollar coin. Okay, question 5. You know I love a homonym. Brian Ferry, lead singer of Roxy Music. Roxy Music. Roxy Music. Okay, so that is round 2. Now, this is exciting. This is one of the prizes. So today will be one prize, next week will be another prize, and then week 6 will be the final prize. The winning team will have their choice, first choice, second place will get second choice, and third place will get third choice. Now, today's piece prize is a piece of art from a phenomenal artist named Jordan West. Unfortunately, I don't have the piece here with me, and I don't own any of his art yet, although I plan on getting one of his pieces at some point. Now, I'm going to show you the piece, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Jordan West and his work. This is what the piece looks like. Oh. Okay. It is called Hotel. Printed in 2019. It's signed and numbered from an edition of 50. The image is 10 1/4 inches by 16 1/2 inches on paper that is 13 inches by 19 inches, and it's printed on this paper that is called Hahnemühle Photo Rag 308, which I understand is a really beautiful archival type of paper. And the painting originally was made in 2005, gouache watercolor on paper. And Jordan West works mostly, if not uniquely, in watercolor from photographs. He's a self-taught artist and has done residencies all over the world. He's a recipient of the Pollock Krasner Foundation Grant, which is a big effing deal. That's Jackson Pollock and Lee Krasner, who some of you may know, very well-known American artists who have a grant that Jordan West was the recipient of. And he has shown his work all over the world, but calls Santa Fe, New Mexico, his home. And I'm going to show you the piece again. It is called Hotel. And what I love about his work, and if you go to his Instagram, at Jordan West Studio, you'll see what I mean. He paints these sort of almost empty, I was going to say sort of forlorn almost type spaces in a way. There's sort of this sort of, I find there to be this kind of like almost humor in the isolation, in a sense. Just beautiful renderings. Some of them are of gas stations or cracked cement, or he does a bunch of stuff in empty airports, empty shopping, like department stores. So check him out, Jordan West, on Instagram, at Jordan West Studio. Yeah, so really, really excited that that's one of our prizes for one of our winning teams. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to...
Real quick, where we are
Oh,
at so
yes,
far,
of course.
scores. Several of you have gotten the surge or the swerve, but there's still one more round, so more of you will hopefully get it. But also in third place so far this evening, we have El Rayo del Norte, we have Division 1, the Damn It Janets, Hard Quartet, the Mavis Baker Band, Old Ball, and 2 Chains.
Okay.
Sleepy in the Suburbs and Steamboat Willies doing very well. Second place, the Golden Squirrel Friends.
Yeah.
Return of the Squids and Shameless. And then in first place so far, Our Best Friends, Nom Chomp.
Wow.
And my team will go on, Celine Dion.
Okay, so we've got a battle on our hands.
We really do.
Really what is happening here. Okay, so now it feels right to move on to
round 3, which this evening is Queer Artists.
In honor of our Pride episode, we are going to be featuring queer artists. So the way this is going to work is this. I'm going to hold up a work of art on my phone to the Zoom. You must identify the artist who made the work. Some of these works depict people who you may recognize. That is not who you are meant to identify. You need to identify who the artist is who made the work, took the photograph, made the painting. Who is the artist? Okay? All right. So, work number 1. Who is the artist? Who is the artist who made this work? Okay. Artist Number 2, who is the artist who made this work? Could I be a thumb model? Artist number 3. Who is the artist who made this work? Who is the artist who made this work? Who is the artist who made this work? You know what I mean? Okay. All right, now, number 4 is a little trickier because it's actually 2 works. And if you know the artist who made either of them, you get 1 point. If you know the artist who made both of them, you're gonna get 1.5. So basically it's 1 point for this round, but there are 2 paintings, or it's 1 point for this question, but there are 2 paintings. So if you know the artist who made one of them or the artist who made the other, then you're gonna get 1 point for B for marsipandemonium. Okay, so marsipandemonium is looking for 2B, 2, 3, 4B. Okay, here comes number 2. Painting number 2. Who is the artist? Who is the queer artist? How's my future as a thumb model? Okay. 3. Who is the artist who took this photograph? Who took this photograph? Who is the queer artist? Okay. 4B. Okay, Dammit Janets, I see you coming back for number 1 soon. Dammit Janets, I think you might know this one. 4B. Toilet Vapor is asking for 4A. Toilet Vapor, I think you might know that one. 4B. 4A. Toilet Vapor, 4A. Who is this queer artist? Only packed 3 pairs of undies. I see 5A coming soon. Okay, that's 4A. Cinnamon Buns, number 1. Who is the artist who took this photograph? Okay, and then number 5A. 5A. And you can see the punch-in is that center section. Okay? I'll just show you that again, the center section, 5B. 1 artist though, okay? Queer, of course. Okay. Just get those responses into the sidekick. If you need more time, throw a thumbs up. Use the reaction button, throw a thumbs up. Mask Jeeves 2 having a jolly old time. Shariva Baby looking a little perplexed, little so-so. Huckleberry Travel looking very confident on this round. Toilet Vapor also looking very poised, very confident. Shaved Mango 2, a little nervous. My team will go on Celine Dion, mid-email it would seem. Vino Verite in outer space with a hair clip, looking amazing. Is that a hair clip or is that just part of the, that's part of the background of the screen or something like that? Oh, it's a, okay, oh I see, it's like a, what do you even call that? Like a GIF? Ross's Boss. I know you know this round.
Looking good.
Okay, so it would seem that everybody got their responses in, so we're gonna just officially close the submission window in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Wow. All right, so let's jump into the responses for iconic queer artists. Okay, so I'm gonna just scroll back through these picks. Number 1. John Lennon and Yoko Ono for Rolling Stone, taken in 1980 for the cover in January of 1981, photographed by Annie Leibovitz. Annie Leibovitz, obviously a very well-known photograph. Less known is her long-term relationship with famous feminist writer and thinker Susan Sontag, which lasted until Sontag's death in 2004. Did you know that? I didn't know that about Annie Leibovitz and Susan Sontag. That's, to me, really cool. Okay. Yet another queer artist, despite her marriage to Diego Rivera, Frida Kahlo, queer woman. This painting is called Two Nudes in a Forest, open bracket, The Earth Itself from 1939. This painting was originally a gift for her lover at the time, Mexican film star Dolores Del Rio. Frida Kahlo. All right. Work number 3. This is, of course, Patti Smith. Cover photograph from her iconic 1975 album, Horses. Photographed here by Robert Mapplethorpe. Robert Mapplethorpe is the photographer. Those of you who have been fortunate to read Patti Smith's book, Just Kids, probably got that one immediately. Okay, so now number 4. 1 point if you knew that Kehinde Wiley, queer artist, painted the portrait of Barack Obama. That's part of the National Portrait Gallery at the Smithsonian. Okay, Kehinde Wiley. So you get a point for number 4 if you knew that. Or if you knew Kent Monkman, Cree artist. This painting is called Hanky Panky. It depicts a council of Indigenous women with Justin Trudeau getting served in the center there. So Kent Monkman or Kehinde Wiley for a point on question 4. If you knew both, you will have gotten 1.5 points there. Both queer artists. Question 5. The Sistine Chapel, which depicts episodes of the book of Genesis, painted between 1508 and 1512 by Michelangelo di Lodovico Buonarroti Simoni, otherwise known as Michelangelo. There is speculation about his sexuality, and it's rooted in his poetry, including a poem in particular that was written for Tommaso de Cavalieri, who was 35 years younger than Michelangelo and was devoted to him until his death. And then when Michelangelo's grandnephew had Michelangelo's poems published in the 1600s, he had the genders changed. And they weren't changed back until right before 1900. So Michelangelo was raging queer, and his grandnephew tried to deny us all of that reality. Okay? So that is that. Round 3 is complete. Thank you for joining us for our seasonal Pride episode. So thrilled you can make it. Stream Queens, thank you for following along at home. A follow-up reminder on Instagram, give us a follow at Feelz Right Quiz Night. We will deconstruct the clue collage that was posted today. We will untangle its mystery tomorrow on our stories. So check that out if you want to know and you want a little secret into Psychic Mr. Jefford's brain and how that works. And also next week, we will jump into the points, including the surges from last week. So until then, I'm like blanking on our own slogan right now. Do you remember it?
Sleep tight, fight the good
fight.
Something else. Be polite.
And always do what feels right.
Good night.
See you next time.